So, what if one of the absolute strangest truths from modern physics actually held the key to a wiser, more balanced way of living? Today, we're diving into a really profound idea for seeing the world differently. And you know what? It all kicks off with a simple question about the very nature of light. For centuries, this was a huge debate for scientists. Is light made of tiny, separate packets of energy, kind of like little bullets? Or is it more of a continuous flowing thing, like ripples spreading out in a pond? What do you think? Well, then quantum physics showed up and gave an answer that basically broke everyone's brain. It's both. At the exact same time. You can see here a particle is localized, it's a discrete thing, while a wave is all about flow and interconnection. It turns out the way you decide to measure light is what determines which face it shows you. Wild, right? This idea is called complementarity, the concept that two totally contradictory truths can coexist, and you actually need both of them to get the full picture of reality. Okay, so why are we talking about physics? Because this mind-bending idea from science is a perfect metaphor for two fundamental ways that we as humans experience the world. We can think of them as the two trees of consciousness, which is an ancient idea, but kind of reimagined for our time. So first up, we've got the tree of life. This is our wave nature. It's that feeling of deep connection, of being part of something bigger than yourself. Think of it as your intuitive, right brain thinking, that being mode, where you just feel a sense of flow and belonging with the world. And its counterpart is the tree of knowledge. This is our particle nature. It's our incredible, brilliant ability to analyze things, to create distinctions, to draw boundaries, set goals, and solve really complex problems. This is that logical, left brain, doing mode that, let's be honest, builds civilizations and creates amazing technology. And here you can see them, laid out side by side. One is about being, the other is about doing. One sees time as a cycle, the other sees it as a straight line. One is focused on how everything is connected, the other on how everything is distinct. But the crucial point here, and this is really important, isn't that one is better than the other. No way. Just like with light, you need both for a complete picture. You need both to be a whole, fully functioning person. But here's the problem. Our modern world has developed a serious imbalance. We've leaned so heavily into one way of seeing that we've almost completely forgotten the other exists. The source material for this calls it the Great Forgetting. This reframes that whole idea of an original sin or the fall. The story here suggests the fall from grace wasn't about the sin of gaining knowledge. It was about collapsing our vision, our dual vision, into a single state. It was choosing to see only the particles, only the distinctions and the separations, and in doing so, going blind to the beautiful interconnected wave. And the results of that imbalance, well, they're all around us. We started to see the world as humanity versus nature, instead of humanity as a part of nature. We shifted from participating with the world to extracting from it, from stewardship to dominion. We became incredibly knowledgeable, but we started to lose our wisdom. So how do we find our way back? How do we find that balance again? The answer isn't to just abandon knowledge and technology and, go live in the woods. The goal is to integrate these two ways of seeing. It's to consciously become what the Source calls the hybrid tree. And what exactly does that mean? It means we have to cultivate the ability to hold both truths at once. It's about using our powerful analytical minds, our particle sight, while staying deeply rooted in our embodied, intuitive wisdom, our wave sight. It's about being both, on purpose. So this looks like pursuing scientific knowledge, but always with ecological context. It means driving progress, sure, but with a deep sense of presence and respect for natural cycles. It's about celebrating who we are as unique individuals, while at the same time understanding our profound responsibility to the collective, to each other and the planet. This is a beautiful idea, isn't it? But how do we actually practice it? How do we make it real in our day-to-day lives? Well, that brings us to the really practical application, the art of both sight. Let's look at how this works. Say you're making a big decision. Your particle lens asks, okay, what can we measure and control here? What are the outcomes? That's super important. But your wave lens asks something different. It asks, how is this decision going to ripple through the whole system?
What are the unseen connections and maybe even the unintended consequences? See, you've got to ask both questions to land on a truly wise answer.
This gives us a really clear four-step practice. First, just recognize. Notice which mode you're defaulting to. Are you analyzing or are you feeling? Second, inquire. Ask yourself, okay, what's the other side of this? What's the complementary truth I might be missing? Third, integrate. Try to just hold both views at the same time, without needing one to be right and the other to be wrong. And finally, act. Move forward from that place of fuller, more complete awareness.
So, the crucial point here, the big takeaway, is that our purpose isn't to be one or the other. It's to be the bridge, to be the conscious integrators. We are the part of nature that evolved this unique ability to distinguish and analyze things. But our great task now is to reintegrate that incredible skill with the wisdom of connection that we came from in the first.
And that brings us to this final, really powerful idea. This philosophy suggests that true wisdom isn't some static destination you arrive at. It's a dynamic dance between two fundamental truths. It's knowing in every single moment that you are both a separate, unique particle, and at the exact same time, you are an inseparable part of the entire wave of existence. And maybe the most important question this leaves us with is this: what could we create if we all learn to see with both eyes open?